So, hello, welcome to this discussion. I am very happy to introduce you Hungarian directress Linda Dombrovski. She made, as far as I know, two feature-length films. One of them I like very much, the Pilate in English, I guess. It's a Sabo Magda adaptation, very good one, film that received numerous awards. And also, she's a very successful documentary filmmaker, and I can tell that she's also a friend of mine. And we did together a omnibus film called Occupation 1968. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you.
Hello. Nice to see you. Peter is a very famous documentary filmmaker, very successful. And I think, which is in this discussion, the most important for me to talk about his method, which is very special, I think. So that's why he's so important in the, I think, documentary filmmaking, because his method is really unique, I think. And in this film, 66 Seasons, it is the beginning of your career, yes? It was your first feature-length film. So, of course, the other films are different, but we can see his character, his style. And this is, I think, one of the most important things in a director's career, that you can see that maybe from one frame that it is his film. Yes, we met. Actually, we met more than, I think, 12 years ago, or maybe it was 13 years ago, in a workshop. It was organized by the Nishimasha, European Network of Young Cinematographers. And Peter was a leader of the workshop. And we could make short documentaries. We had 1 month in a wonderful place in the islands of Finland, nearby Turku. And we could make short documentaries. And it was the beginning of our friendship, I think. And after that, we could make this Occupation 1968, which was for me a very important work. I made only one part of the film, because it was a co-production and it's a sketch. So it was made by 5 different directors from different countries. Okay, first, just very shortly about my personal connection to the 66 Seasons. So I watched it again after 10 years, because I think it was about 10 years ago when I first could see this movie. And it was really very, that's strange, but I think it's important to talk about it, how a film changes, although it's the same, but it changes for me. It changed for me. It was really, so I was much more touched than before. It's strange, because it was the second time, so I already knew the story, I knew the style, I knew a lot of things, but which was really important for me, it changed. And that's what I would like to talk about. What do you think? Because I think a good movie, that's what one of my favorite teachers, Ferenc Grünwaldzki, taught me. He died a few months ago. He was also a documentary filmmaker. That you cannot see never that you have watched the film, because it always changes, because you looks from a different perspective, because you are getting older, or your lives change. And I had the feeling by this movie that although it's the same story, it's the same very special movie, but for me, it was really another movie. For me, maybe I'm also older, 10 years older than that time, the first time. It is not only about what you mention always, it's a history from the perspective of, um, of people, but it is also about death. It is also about getting older. It is also about the circle of the universe. So it's much more, I don't know, it's much more serious for me. The first time the humor and this special method touched me a lot. Now it is much more serious. What do you think? Because you have seen it again. I have seen uh, you attended a workshop and you mentioned that you could rewatch it with in Košice again after 10 years or I don't know. What did you see with them?
So, thank you very much. Uh, for the film is exactly 22 years old. So it's really old. You know, if you have a 22 years old child, it's already grown up. So, and 2 years ago, I had the chance to see the film from the 35 millimeter print when we made a special screening in Košice, and I decided to invite all the survivors of the film. And I was not watching the film, to be honest. I was in the cinema, but I was not watching the film. I was crying. I was so emotional because I realized that basically I really preserved my father, my grandmother, all the people that I loved and that already passed away, and I had a chance to prolong their lives for several years because they are still alive in the film. But to be not so emotional, actually, 6 weeks ago, I realized that I lost the DCP with Hungarian subtitles. And I promised to make a screening in Hungary, so I was doing the subtitles myself. So I had to watch the film frame by frame again because I'm completely broke. I had to do the subtitles myself. I have no money to pay to somebody. And it was a perfect school because suddenly you realize the beauty of this film is in its clumsiness. There are a lot of the dialogues that are not really perfectly edited in terms of some technical perfection. Or when you are listening to people, they are sometimes doubling the informations. But it is very important for the rhythm, for the flow. So I think that this is something that I have a fear that I'm not able to repeat anymore in any other movie. That this film is much more about energy
Mhm,
than about informations. I think nowadays, with my much more professional skills, I I would do it somehow technically better, but I'm not sure if it will be so good.
mhm. And you said that it was no money for it, so you were more free. It was no obligations, no production company behind, or
Yeah,
yes. So it could also help you to make it very personal, and it was no
yeah.
bo
It's really a paradox because I'm usually teaching in quite a lot of workshops and and uh, and places like co-production meetings where we try to encourage the young filmmakers to prepare their project and to work under professional circumstances. in professional conditions, in co-productions, where a lot of producers involved. And this is an example of a completely opposite approach. I couldn't find a producer that would produce this movie. Everybody just scared out. They said, you want to film old woman in swimming suit speaking about Holocaust. Like you don't have such a pervert category on Pornhub, like it's like nobody believed it that it can work. So I had to produce the film myself. And we were pretty lucky because we got some modest funding. And we made a deal with the crew that they will basically work for free and all the money we spent to the film stock. So I had a chance to work on 60 millimeter film camera, which was very important for me. Not just because of the image, but also of the pace of the filming, that you are really concentrated because you have 10 minutes,
Yep.
one roll, and you have to concentrate to get the magic in 10 minutes. Otherwise, you don't have it. And it was two beautiful summers when spent in swimming pool, eating langos, drinking beer, and working just from 10 to 4. So I think it was a fantastic holiday.
Yes, so it was it was an improvisation, but you had a very strict script in your mind, yes? So I heard that you had it printed, also published, yes? The script itself or the story itself, I don't know. And it was important for you, so it doesn't mean that you just spent 2 summers. It means that you had a very strict shooting script in your mind, and that's why you could improvise, and that's why it was not chaotic. So you knew already everything, but as in a documentary, the reality changed things.
Yeah. That was like my grandmother used to say that you have to make advantage of all the disadvantage. And when I started to dream about this film, not even filming it, just preparing and doing the research, the political situation that influenced also the situation of the financing of the films in Slovakia was terrible. Was even worse than in Hungary nowadays. Like I couldn't think about any state funding, any television funding, nothing. Like it was absolutely impossible. And but I wanted to make this film. So I did the research and I wrote down the ideal movie because it's in the film Odyssey by Mark Cousin. There is a beautiful scene when he's making an interview with one Algerian, I think, director, and he's asking, how could you make films in Algeria in 70s when there was nothing? And the director is saying, there is nothing more easy than to make a film. You just close your eyes and you think about your movie. So I just closed my eyes and I wrote down the film as I would like to see it. And I knew that there is no chance that it will be ever filmed. So I was completely free. Like my only how to say, um, when the ship is in the harbor, it has the,
Yes.
hogy mondják magyarul?
Hát ez ö, ma most nekem sem jut eszembe
Kotva. Okay, we will find it later and put it to the comments. So did the hook, to not go away, was just my respect to the truth. So I was not inventing things, stories that the people didn't say,
az
or
ilyen horog, igen, vagy.
or I was inventing them how they could be said.
Mhm.
But this was my only thing that kept me in the ground. Otherwise, I was completely free, and I wrote down the ideal movie.
Mhm.
I couldn't film it. I published it. And then the political situation changed, and then thanks to a lot of positive things, we got the funding. But because I wrote it down as the ideal movie, as something that if you cannot film, you have to write. Then I knew everything. I had everything in my head, and the filming was super easy because even when it came to the point of the improvisation, I already had the film not just in my brain, but I had it also in my hands physically because I was writing it.
I remember when I was working on I think it was the Fürelis, the Szabó Magda's last roman, and we wrote a script about it, and I talked about it with you, and I told you that I'm not sure it will work because it's too expensive in that way. Maybe I have to control it. I used to work as first assistant director, so I really knew what does it mean that something is expensive during the shooting. And you told me that, oh, just dream, just write what you dream, and then you can change it when you are shooting or before shooting, during the pre-production. And it was very important for me. So thank you for that. And in that case, you worked also like this. The first frame, you have a subtitle that this is, I cannot find it, this is for my grandfather. Yes, it was written. It means that, to memory of my grandfather, sorry. So it means that you have this in your mind that you have to make this movie because you promised it your grandmother, yes, that after your grandpa dies, then you will make a movie about the history of your family. After that, you were thinking what to shoot. Maybe there were many other ideas in your mind what to do. What was the turning point when you decided to choose the location, this swimming pool, and you will make the family history through this location and through the memories of other people. So it was not only your family. You remember this?
Yeah. I I still remember it very strongly because after my grandfather passed away, we went through a lot of literature and letters and photos that my grandfather made and wrote. And I wanted to make a film about the family history. But it was very hard to find a central point for that. And it could be the house where they lived, the street, the city itself. But nothing was really sexy enough for me. Nothing was so interesting that everything was a tool that it can help the story, but it was not the story itself.
Mhm.
And then just my grandmother said one miracle sentence that's already in the movie. And she said that my grandfather could never make it to the sea because of the First World War, after Trianon situation, Second World War, communists. Basically, he was trapped in the central of Central Europe in Košice, Kasha. And uh, and then she said, if you cannot make it to the sea, you have to be happy with the swimming pool. And it's not just the point that I can make a film in the swimming pool, but it's the way how we are living in Central Europe. You know, we don't have sources, so we have to create our own improvisational sources. We do not have sea since a certain time, so we have to create our own idea of the sea. We have to make the things possible in another way, and it's a philosophy. It's not geography. And the second thing is that I spent in the swimming pool a lot of time when I was a child because it was really a very favorite place of my parents and also of my grandparents. And they were always speaking stories. And when you are old, you are speaking stories from the times when you were young, as me, about 66 seasons now.
Mm.
And they were young during the war times. So a lot of things that are in the movie are basically from my childhood perspective. Like when I remember they were speaking about the military camp for prisoners of war when where my grandfather was, and I was so fascinated that I was building from Lego the prisoner, you know, and so this childish perspective, the fascination of the models and everything comes from this one magic sentence of my grandmother. That was the inspiration.
And I think this magic sentences refers not only because we are Central European, but it is also about ordinary people's life, that they cannot fulfill everything what we dream about. No, so it it is a model not only this region, but I think it's very universal. That's why I was really touched of the film, because I also had this feeling that, for example, my parents could not do everything what they wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's very sad, and at the same time we can make it in a humorous way. You can film it in a humorous way, and that's why it is so special. Um, yeah, about your method, sorry, just I say this expression method is, as I remember from our workshop 13 years ago, you said, play with your characters. It was your sentence that burnt into my mind. It it means that you do not make interviews with people. It's not historians who talk about these 66 years. It's simple people who just talk about their lives, but not with words. But you make a situation, kind of reconstruction. They reconstruct a situation from their past, which was very important for them. And I'm sure, maybe not, that you had a lot of stories like this, maybe a lot of situations, but you, during the editing, you chose these. These were the best, no? Do you remember maybe um, something which did not success, and why it did not success? I think it's important for a filmmaker, because it's a very special thing that you want from the people, and you have to know uh, before shooting if they are capable, as a capable to do this, or if they are so open-minded to do it, this or not. Because I try to use your method, your technique, and I know that it doesn't work with everybody. So
Um, okay, has three answers. First of all, I like to play with the people in front of the camera. Actually, uh, I was when I finished the school, I was working for television, and I did several boring documentaries where the people are in front of the camera and speaking boring things, and I hate it. Also, I think I had this very strange feeling that it's very unnatural. You know, like the people are in unnatural situations surrounded with the camera and they try pretend that they are doing their everyday life. So when I put them to the very unnatural situation, so when I put them to the swimming pool and give them these play guns uh, and they can play with the children guns even they are 60 years old. They're showing how they were playing when they were children.
Mhm.
It's a complete absurd situation, but they take the game, and in the game we are natural.
Mhm.
Now, if the game is something very, very realistic. When you have children, you know how it is. Like the game is interesting when you take it serious.
Mhm.
There is the game when floor is lava. You have to believe that floor is lava. Then it's fine. Then you are yourself, and everything what you are doing is very authentic. So I ask these people, I put these people to the not typical situations, but thanks to this, their reactions were very authentic. I failed a lot of times.
Mhm.
This is my big dream that one day I will have time and I will put together all the bad scenes that we had.
It's
Because sometimes the game is not working.
mhm.
Like you offer something and they accept it because they are polite, but it's not working. And we have really terrible situation. Like I asked the Holocaust survivor to play hide and seek in the swimming pool because for me it was a nice on paper it looks perfect.
Mhm.
Like they had to hit hide themselves during the war and pretend that
Yeah.
everything is okay, and they are not Jewish, so they were among a lot of people, but they were different. Wow, perfect hide and seek, and it was terrible.
Mhm.
I was like when you feel shame to watch your own work,
Yeah.
and we cut it out, but I think that's why I have to edit it and show it in my next workshops, like how I failed.
Mhm.
Uh, if you want to achieve something, you have to try. Like you don't need to have this fear. Maybe it will be awkward. Maybe it will be not funny. Maybe it will be boring. You have to try it because without these bad scenes, I would never make the other good scenes.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said, you mentioned that I tried to make this method, but it was not so successful. I think every director has to find the method that fits to his body, to his
Mhm.
personality. And I'm a big fat person, and I love to be in the center of the Fidelem, center of that the people are watching to me when I'm speaking, and I know I have the energy to encourage them.
Mhm.
So this is my way. I am absolutely not able to make observational movie. I tried it once in my life. I was doing the camera sound myself. I was in the corner of the room and just telling everybody, just pretend that I'm not here. I just make observational movie. And
Yeah.
I was feeling myself like a big, unusable piece of furniture in the middle of the room. And it was a nightmare. So everybody, for eccentric, overweight people, I think this is a perfect method, but you have to gain a lot.
Okay, I understand. Then I would like to ask you to show the slideshow number two, because there are some stills in which we can see you as a director. Can you show this? Um, the slideshow number two? Yes? No, this is three, I think. Um,
Yeah.
this one, yes. So we can see you and also the crew, and the microphone is one of the main characters of the movie. Why is it?
The microphone was a very technical decision. When you are filming with people that are in swimsuits, you have no place to put them the lavalier, the small microphone.
Okay, but we know that you can make a frame or you can use the microphone much more from a much more direction. So it's a concept, I think, no? It was no
And,
concept.
and that because we had no other chance if we didn't want to have like very close-ups, and I love totals. You know,
Mhm.
much my cinematographer much more. And and so we said, okay, let's have a boom. Let's have the microphone in the camera, in the frame. And then we started to speak about the film and about me, like the character of the film.
Mhm.
And there are two important things. One is my grandmother is telling that her life was saved absolutely miraculously by a sailor who was on a holiday in Košice, which is complete absurd because Košice has no sea. And then she's saying, if he would not save me, I would be not alive. You would not be here, and also this film would not exist.
Mm.
And I wanted just to show this chain of consequences, and the film is one of them.
Mhm.
And the second important thing, and it's really my philosophy, the radio guy is telling that everything is waving.
Mhm.
And not just in physical terms, but also if we tell something, the sound are waves, but also our ideas are waves, and we can influence with our waves other people, and they can influence other people. And for me, that's why the being of the film, like one of the wave character, wave creator, is very important because
Mhm.
this film had 765 audience who paid for the tickets in Slovakia, which is nothing.
Mhm.
But it created a wave and it influenced 765 interesting people, and they influenced other people. So basically, it had a reason and to be made. So that's why the film is a, and also all the technical things are the part of the game and part of the film itself.
Just very shortly about the frame sizes. Can you show, please, the slideshow number one? Because it's you can see the totals, which for me it fits because maybe it was only your DOP who liked it, or maybe not only he. That you can see these ordinary, simple people in a very huge total. It has also a meaning. So it's not only that we can see their full body. It is also about they are very small in this huge city, or in this huge swimming pool, or in this huge world. No,
Mhm.
because it's also the message of the film that we are very small in this universe. So I think it's symbolic. Um, yes, there are a lot of levels, I think, or dimensions of the movie. There are some created situations. There are some normal interviews, and there are archives. They are all ordinary archives, or sometimes you um, made it and it's post-production of something you filmed.
I never wanted to have archives in this movie, but then we found two archive footages. One was, and that was for me important because the archives we are using are not official archives. They are very connected to the protagonists, to the characters of the film. So the archive of the swimming pool from the 30s was filmed by the father of Katarina Borshova, Barka and Kati before. he was the architect of he was the builder of the swimming pool,
Mhm.
and he filmed it. And then during the Salashi regime, he was deported and died in concentration camp. So it's a personal memory. It's not the official archive. And
Mhm.
this archive is from the occupation 1968, and it was filmed by the photographer who is the important character in the film. And during the filming, he was shot by the Russian sniper. So it's also like the very personal. It's not the objective. It's a part of his life and death actually,
Mhm.
because he survived. And that's how we used archives. In my next movies, I was not so consequent, unfortunately, but this was very strong.
Mhm. But I think it gives a plus meaning, a plus dimension for the film. So maybe it was not your um, ambition, but I think it helps to to use this timelessness
Yeah.
because it's 66 seasons. So um, yeah, yeah, and it's just maybe a silly question, but the first it was the first take maybe with your grandmother, and she asked you, maybe I have to say also, but before that you say stop. It means camera stops rolling, but it didn't stop. So it was planned that let's shoot after you say stop. So the director controls everything. I think it was your plan, no?
Yes, yes. It's an old trick. It's my trick. It's an old trick. The most important thing, most interesting things are always happening after the stop sign. So
Mhm,
we have an agreement with the whole crew that we are still filming.
mhm. But the people did not know that. So, for example, your grandmother, so she was not involved into this.
Yeah, otherwise they have to be trapped. They have to be trapped.
Uh,
Yeah. This is the thing that if it is ethical or not, whatever, it's if it is not against them, it's okay.
uh-huh.
If my grandmother after the stop will say, "Oh, fuck this movie, I hate this city, but I have to pretend that I'm a nice grandmother," I would not use it,
Mhm,
you know. So, yes, you can use different tools, but it can be never against your protagonist.
mhm, of course. And she liked the film when she first.
When she first saw it on the VHS tape, before the premiere, she was very unhappy because there are two moments when she's holding a stick in her hand because she has to walk with the stick.
Yeah.
And one shot, her hair was not good enough. So she asked me to re-edit it, but I refused. So, but of course, after that, all the premieres in Vienna, Paris, and Tel Aviv, and everywhere, she was really happy.
Mhm. Okay, one of my maybe favorite scenes is kind of a video clip when this old woman who is searching for her fiancé is singing a song. It's a Hungarian song. Soha nem mondd, hogy vége. And after that, you make kind of a fiction clip. Yes. Can you tell me something about this? It was also part of the conception, or it was after she song sang you this song, or how did it happen?
It was a concept,
Hmm?
and it's not everywhere, but every character I ask to sing their favorite song to camera. And
Mhm.
I knew that I will use it with the music composer somehow. So I didn't want to put music from outside, but I want to have the music from inside, from the characters and from the swimming pool.
Mhm.
There are actually two or three moments when the music that the characters are singing are turned out to be the music of the film. And this is one of them. So it was a concept from the beginning. I knew she will sing it. Actually, I wanted to use more singing, but she's singing really terrible. So so we did it like this. Yeah. But I had it in my mind.
Mhm. And is it something when you watched again the movie? I'm always like this, that I watch my film after years, then I feel that there are a lot of problems. Is it something that you would make maybe by the editing in another way, or you feel that it was that and it is nothing that.
With this movie, it's like with my children. There are a lot of problems, but I love them. And I would not change them. Uh, Even the bad. I think that the film is slowing down by the end a little bit. Quite
Mhm.
a lot. It could be shorter, but I cannot imagine to change it. It's it is. It has to be not a perfect movie.
Yeah. Okay. That was what I was planned, but I don't know what the time is. Is it okay? Of course, we can talk more about it, but
Yeah, we kind of have 10 minutes, but I think we spoke about the most important and interesting things. So
and can we talk about? I'm very curious of your next plans. Is it okay if we talk about it, or they do not listen to us?
do not listen to us.
Okay, let's talk about your, yes, if it is possible. I don't know if it is fits for
Or
you or not.
or if they can listen to us, maybe they are not interfering this interview. Uh, it's an interesting question because like usually I hate these questions like what's the next project, blah blah blah. But 20 years after making 66 seasons, I decided to come back to Košice,
Mm,
to my hometown, and to make a very similar film again. And it started like a holiday project during the pandemic because it was not possible to travel. So I said, okay, I will be in my hometown and I will make a movie during one summer or autumn. And it will be about the Košice Peace Marathon.
mm,
And it's a marathon race that is the oldest in Europe. It was established in 1924. And somehow the story is a little bit similar like 66 seasons. It's a love letter to my city. And it's not about swimming, but about running. And I wanted to make it during one summer, but now we are already making it fourth year. And I'm actually traveling tonight to Košice, and we are starting the filming. I hope the last filming tomorrow for the last 6 shooting days.
oh,
And for me, it was interesting to work with my ego because uh, I spent a lot of time with interesting people organizing or running the marathon. So I have fantastic material. And I had a feeling that somebody other have to make this movie, that I cannot make the same again. But I completely fell in love with these people because they're so interesting. And from the beginning, I knew that when I will make this film, everybody will compare it with 66 seasons. And any my movie comparing with 66 seasons will be a failure not a failure. It will be not so good. Like it's like first love. Like first love, whatever it is, it's perfect. So if you are making a film that is completely different, like a fiction in Odessa prison or something, you are not afraid. It's a different style.
Mhm.
From the I am making something that from the beginning I know that it will be not so good as this 22 years old movie. And
Mhm.
I had to and I had somehow uh to be okay with it. So it was an interesting fight with the ego. What is more important? The My ego, because you will read all
Critic.
recensions, all the critics.
Mhm.
Every critic will start with the sentence, but it's not so good, right? These ones,
Mhm.
the first one, the sequels are never good. And I said, okay, fuck it. I don't care.
Mhm.
I really want to make a film for these people, for these runners. I want to spend time in Košice, uh, and I want to make a film about this interesting society that that created the legend that now has 102 years, which is crazy,
Mhm.
you know. And so it's in connection with this, it was an interesting battle between my ego and my desire.